Let's talk about it with us right now. Maybe tears or laughs out loud. Let's make a difference as we speak through conversation.
Hey, Ousters.
Hello, hello, hello. Look, we are back. What? Season 4, the new year. The new
2026.
year,
No.
2026. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
When did that happen? Can you imagine already? 2026. And like we normally do, come the new year, we always try to bring something helpful for not New Year's resolutions. So like a un-New Year's resolution, but what goals do you want to set for the new year, 2026? And that's what we're gonna do. And like many of us, we all try to start off with some sort of goal planning for the new year. Have we done it for the podcast yet? No. Have we done it for our personal lives yet? No, because where do you start? And you'd think that by year 4 we'd have like a like a plan. But we every year we look at it as a way to kind of start fresh. And that's what we're doing. But have you set any personal goals yet? Because I haven't.
Personal goals. Yes.
Okay.
Um yes. So, personal goal is to get back on my um health journey,
Mm-hmm.
mind, body, spirit. I don't know how the mind thing is going, but I'm hoping they'll all catch up eventually. So I did actually I'm trying to make a conscious effort to get more active. I think behind a lot of stuff that was going on in my personal life, which I don't want to kind of like put out there, for everybody. But I really wasn't doing much. I was really like really I feel like, life is really sucking. It's really lifing,
Mm-hmm.
and I do a lot of sleeping. I was doing a lot of sleeping, but I am making an effort to um get more active,
Mm-hmm.
getting on the treadmill, just start off with something simple like 30 minutes and then trying to progress back and start back up with my little weight loss journey, because since I got in my feelings about the way life had been life in,
Mm-hmm.
I just was like, I'm gonna eat it and be happy, and I'm not counting this calorie. Not only am I gonna eat it, but when I finish eating it, I'm probably gonna go to sleep because I'm be mad at myself
Hmm.
for eating it. We're not really mad at myself for eating it, but like I just was like in a, I don't know, I don't know. I was like, I just don't even care. If I go today, I'll go fed and happy.
um,
So I've been making an effort
mm,
to, yeah,
okay.
I'm making, uh, but that's about it. And it's not really I don't want to say New Year's resolution because no one ever really keeps those.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I've been working on myself diligently.
Mm-hmm. Good.
Yeah.
I'm trying
Okay.
to think if I have had any. I don't know. I think my goal really is to just stay the course for like the projects that I am working on and being like doing what I'm saying I'm going to do, as opposed to just kind of throwing out like, oh, I want to do this and not do it. Um because I got a few things that I'm working on and I've been pretty diligent, but I want to make sure that I continue with that. Um which is it makes me feel so fulfilled that I just like I'm like like I don't need all that other stuff, but I just want to make sure that I am focused on that and can stay the course on that and don't get like distracted. And not really, I'm not trying to sweat the stuff that I can't fix. I think that's gonna be not my New Year's resolution, but kind of like I can only control what I can control, and that's that. I am a card bearing member of the We Do Not Care Club. And I am a firm believer like, yo, fuck it. Can't change it. Not trying to fix it. And if you don't
That
know what
part.
that is, y'all just Google it. We Do Not Care Club. But I really think those are the things that I am trying to focus on in the new year. But if you are looking and you don't know where to get started, this is a great. We think this episode is going to be geared towards folks who maybe you want to start something new or you want to start setting some goals, not resolutions. How can you do that? So let's do it. This is an AI overview, but then we are going to kind of go deeper into one thing in particular that we thought would be helpful. And oddly enough, we have from my youngest for school, he actually learned this. That I was like, why are you teaching this type of to a fifth grader? But I'm like, whatever. I guess you got to start somewhere.
And
um,
I could
mm,
see that though, because I feel like the earlier you start teaching them things, the easier it'll be later in life. Like they
mm,
won't be getting it later in life because they'll start conditioning themselves early on.
mhm.
So I could see it.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I do agree. But you're expecting a 10-year-old to kind of it's like expecting I don't know what comparison I could say, but like kids are kids. And I know kids are all have different levels of maturity, but I'm like, I think this might be some better suited for like beginning of high school and something that's reiterated throughout, but whatever. Because they're not going to remember this. Like we look like we're doing US government. He ain't gonna remember half this shit. And who knows if it's still gonna be the same by the time my shady moment, but whatever. So here's some really great tools. To start fresh in the new year, reflect on the past year's successes and challenges, clear physical and digital clutter, and set realistic, specific goals. Then create a plan to achieve these goals by establishing new routines, prioritizing self-care, and staying motivated through positive relationships and consistent effort. Seems fairly easy, but not.
Yeah, but sometimes it sounds easy, right? I'm like, oh, that sounds good. Okay.
In
All
theory.
right. And then life. He'd be like, yeah, what? So
Fair point.
good, good. Like you said earlier, you put it perfectly earlier when you said you got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay, so reflect and plan. Okay, review the past year. Reflect on what went well and what didn't to learn from experiences. Okay, celebrate your wins, both big and small. Absolutely.
Hmm.
I definitely feel like a lot of that.
Yes, agreed.
I think that's
Um,
the only way you can stay in the game. Does that make sense?
oh, absolutely. Because if you and progress isn't linear, like it's not a straight uphill like thing. So
That part.
you celebrate the whatever the win is, so that way, when the setbacks happen, you know how to balance it out and appreciate, what's
Right.
important as opposed to what's not. Yeah.
I agree. Um, declutter. Clear out physical spaces like your home or workspace and digital clutter such as your inbox or phone photos to start with a clean slate. Maybe not them phone photos.
I was thinking that too.
I was like, probably not those. Not unless it's like a past relationship, like an ex or a past friendship. I could see them saying that. But most of my photos is like kids, um, you know,
Yeah,
family. I don't have a boo thing to declutter. I did that a while ago, honey. I deleted them next day. Um, I'm sorry.
no, I was just okay. No,
But I was like, I don't know
Hmm.
why. What kind of phone photos?
I know.
I don't know.
I can tell you because like I was like, oh, that actually makes a lot of sense because I have like a lot of photos and videos that we've like used for like the podcast and stuff like that that I know I don't ever I don't ever delete them, and I'm like, why not? So I was like, I
Okay.
probably should go. I can go through my phone, and just kind of delete a lot of the stuff that we're not using right now because the episode is done, and
Okay.
yeah, I'm like, okay, I can
Okay.
see. Yeah, I can see that actually.
Okay. That makes sense. That does.
Yeah,
Okay. Um, set goals, establish clear, realistic goals using a smart, specific. Oh, using a smart. Okay. Specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time bound framework. Girl, is that like, should
hmm
I write that like on my mirror in the morning? Smart. Because I'm not really for sure. I like it though. I like the
hmm
concept of it. Create a plan. Don't just set goals. Make a plan with actionable steps to achieve them. This makes them feel less overwhelming.
I can see
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Yeah. I was saying just start somewhere.
right.
Like even if it's like the misstep and stuff like that, create a plan. Even if that plan doesn't work, you just got to start somewhere. Even like I love the concept of this, but sometimes it's just do it, as opposed to
Mm.
writing it down or talking about it. Because how many times have we could have on the individual level said, okay, I'm going to do XYZ, and then don't follow through with it. So it's kind of like, yes, you could create a plan, but I think or maybe that's going to be next. I'm going to stop right now because that might be next.
And then it leads to exactly like you said earlier. Like you said, you're gonna start doing stuff and actually um staying with it or sticking with it. I think that's why I really don't for a long time, New Year's resolution, and then you're like, it's not realistic. So I think it kind of goes back to what you were saying earlier, actually staying the course.
One way of being able to start with your goals in the new year is you can establish new habits and routines. So you can build positive routines, like use the new year to create new habits, such as a morning meditation, a daily walk, or a new hobby. You can prioritize self-care where you can schedule time for activities that help you recharge, like reading, meditating, or spending time in nature. Me, it's watching reality TV shows, which yes,
Um,
that's kind of my self-care, and I am slacking. um let's see. Focus on your well-being, so you make health a priority by getting enough sleep, staying hydrated, eating mindfully, and managing stress. And then let's see, foster relationships by reconnecting with loved ones and build strong social connections as they can provide support and encouragement. So new habits, new routines, or revisit an old routine that you have kind of, so it's I do like that. And then also, yeah, like making connections or like doing more stuff with people that you enjoy spending time with. because even like it's something I struggle with, but for different reasons.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I can really resonate with that. It really resonates with me, rather.
I really love that one. I
Yeah.
feel like, um, I think I have been working on trying to reach out a little bit more. I don't know if you noticed, but I just try to at least text. Even if I don't call, I try to,
Mhm.
try to text. Um, Especially when life is life and it gets really, really hard. Like we all have really busy um lives. And sometimes it just takes a text, but what I don't want is to have the family dynamics when we only get together when something kind of happens. So I
Mhm.
really um
Yeah, that I'm like, whatever, ain't shit you can do about that. I can control what I can control, and what I can't control, I am leaving that shit alone. Um,
that part.
just saying. Um, that is, yeah, part of my
I
New
had a
Year's.
girl.
I
I'm
was
so
like,
sorry.
what I can control, and if I can't,
Uh,
oh well.
I,
um,
I it just brought back, I don't know. Like I said, I just don't want it to be
I got
like
you.
that, especially people that I actually have that type of bond. Like you don't have bonds with everybody. Everybody is not your cup of tea, just like you're not everybody else's cup of tea, right?
Mhm. Yep.
Um, but definitely try to do better with my communication and reaching out. So I love that. I love that.
Mhm.
I
All
love
right. Let's see what else we got.
that. This.
Okay. I was like, oh, okay, here it is.
This was meant for me to reach out right here. Stay motivated. Here we go. um Track progress. I could see that. Document your journey to stay motivated and see how far you've come. Keep a journal. Keeping a journal can be a great way to do this. I like it. When I used to work in prison, they used to be marking off them calendars. I actually watched a movie where that's what the guy was doing. Honey, he wasn't do it wasn't a positive. It wasn't positive, but it was a point that he was marking down them darn days, like day until I put this plan into effect. So I think that's um a visual. I think sometimes when you can see the progress, it helps you to stay motivated because you can see it.
Mhm.
Okay, I'm closer to this date, or I'm closer to this particular goal. Or when I was doing therapy, I hate to go down the rabbit hole, but when I was doing therapy, um, a suggestion was to go back and read some of your prior thoughts, or if you write poetry, go back and read some of your prior poetry and see how you've grown or feel differently today, or do you still feel the same? Do you see the improvement, like in your life and your journey in your writing? Um,
Mhm.
with the journaling portion
Mhm.
part of it. Um, Stay positive. Focus on the positive and celebrate your achievements along the way. Be kind to yourself. Uh, Be kind to yourself. Understand that setbacks happen, acknowledge them, learn from them, and don't let them derail your progress.
Mhm.
I like it.
Yeah, same. And I do
I like
like the idea of tracking your progress, because you don't sometimes it's hard to see it when you're in it, like what progress you have made. Um and if you're jotting it down or writing it down, it's a lot easier to kind of see. It's like when we use our task management thing, like for the podcast. Like you don't always see how much we've done until you go in it and then be like, oh look, we've actually done a lot of different things. You know what I mean? Because it just so like that's the best way I can say, like, hey, I actually see how much like we've grown and how much we've progressed just by looking at that, because we've done a lot within that. But that's the only way we see it. It's like, oh, oh look, we've actually done a lot. You know what I mean? um but journaling it is, if on a personal level, because that's kind of where you would kind of jot that down. And a journal could be anything. Like I'd say buy something pretty. This is going to sound crazy. Like buy something that you would love to actually write in, because I this is gonna sound crazy, but
No, I agree. I agree. Go ahead.
find something that you like. I love looking at this thing, and that's gonna kind of help motivate you more to do the thing, you know? Like for example, like my water cups. I think that I buy certain ones because I'm like, oh, it looks so pretty. So it keeps me more motivated to drink water regularly. You know what I mean? So like from that standpoint, I don't think guys get that, but I'm like, I do. Like my husband is like, do you really need a pretty bottle to drink?
Mhm.
I'm like,
Yep.
yes. And what? This one I got free. Yes. Whatever. Um, and I do like the fact that be kind to yourself. It had taken me like a long time to not beat myself up, not about what I can and can't do, or fix or not fix, or change or not change. You know what I mean? So, and it took me a while to kind of get there, but like it's a work in progress. It's not something that just happens overnight. But you do have to be kind to yourself. The best advice I ever got was, and I didn't get it when she told me, but when after I was like, oh girl, I see what she was saying now, but I wasn't fucking listening. It was after I had gotten into a car accident, and like I had this really great fucking job, and I was like, I'm not letting this shit go for nothing. And I had just gotten into a car accident, and I don't even think I took a day off. I might have taken a day off. And she's like, you know, Tanya, you do need to be gentle with yourself. Be kind to yourself. And I ain't know, like, it didn't even fucking resonate with the hell she was telling me. But then fast forward, when I ended up having like all of these problems stemming from the car accident, I was like, that's what she was trying to tell me. Like, I should have stayed my ass home, went to the doctor and been like, hey, look, you need to look into this, and maybe soak some more in some Epsom salt so I wouldn't, like but I didn't. And, you know, whatever. But now when I look back on it, I'm like, yo, that shit was real. And she was telling me, but I wasn't listening. But now I do. Now I do. But you kind of heard that buzzword, SMART goals. And we are going to look at what that means, because, SMART goals was really not a thing us when we were coming up. And like when we first started, I was saying this is something my youngest is learning in fifth grade. I'm like, SMART goals as a fifth grader? Yeah, I don't know. But like Janine said, maybe it does make sense to kind of make it younger. Personally, I think a little bit older, but I do think it's helpful. This is a buzzword that I think is more a newer term. So definitely not at least 10 years back. Wait, 10 years ago, I don't ever remember anyone talking about that. But this is something maybe within the last 10 years has become a thing, which actually makes a lot of sense. And it is an acronym, like so 100 acronyms that we have to learn nowadays. But we found this really great article from Kat Bugard, and it's how to harness who tells us about what are SMART goals, and kind of breaks it down. But the SMART in SMART goal stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. Defining these parameters as they pertain to your goal helps ensure that your objectives are attained within a certain amount of time. And this approach eliminates generalities and guesswork, sets a clear timeline, and makes it easier to track progress and identify missed milestones. Ew. So holding yourself accountable is what I'm
Yeah.
hearing.
How to write smart goals. Let's use Jane's objective to work through each component. S. Specific. In order for goals to be effective, it needs to be specific. A
Mm,
specific goal answers questions like what what needs to be accomplished, who's responsible for it, what steps need to be taken to achieve it. Thinking through these questions help get to the heart of what you're aiming for. Here's an example of specific goals Jane might come up with.
mm,
Specific. Grow the number of monthly users of tech firms mobile app by optimizing our app store listing and creating target social media campaigns. Okay.
mm. We could easily flip this into the podcast, but a little bit differently, right? So
Right.
grow
Right.
listeners. We don't have a mobile app by optimizing what? Creating targeted social media campaigns. Mm, I see it. I'm like, how could we flip that into something we could use for? All right, we got that down. See what that could look like for us. We don't know because we don't know.
I
This
like
is
it.
the first time we're
Right.
doing this.
Right.
But I was like, well, how can we flip this into? Hmm.
I
Okay.
agree.
Okay. So measurable. Specificity is a solid start, but Jesus, quantifying. Okay. But quantifying your goals, meaning make sure they're measurable, makes it easier to track progress and know when you've reached the finish line. So for example, Jane and her product team want to grow the number of their mobile app users, but by how much? If they get even one new sign up, that's technically positive growth. Fair. So does that mean they're done? No. Same goes for their strategy. How many platforms will they advertise on? To make this smart objective more impactful, Jane should incorporate measurable, trackable benchmarks. Huh. So what is the question that you
Example.
need to be answering? That
I,
the
I got
okay.
it. I like it.
So like if they
10 new followers a month, 10 new listens a month. We could, you know what I'm saying? Something
mm-hmm.
reasonable and measurable.
How many?
But we haven't got to reasonable yet. Just so I'm sorry. I
Mm-mm.
was jumping the gun. Just sorry.
No, no, not yet.
Mhm.
Grow listeners by okay. So how many? So that's a question mark because what would that look like? Okay, let's boogie forward, y'all. This was not what we were supposed to be doing, but somehow we're gonna turn this into what we could do.
That
Fuck
part.
it, not let this opportunity go to waste. mm,
Achievable.
achievable.
That's it. Achievable, not
Okay,
reasonable. Achievable.
gotcha.
Okay. A. Achievable. This is the point in the process. Sorry. This is the point in the process when you give yourself a serious reality check. Kind of like reasonable.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Goals should be realistic. That part. Not what? Pedestals. Okay, got it. Not pedestals from which you inevitably tumble.
mm,
Ask yourself, is your objective something your team can reasonably accomplish? Jane might look at her goal and realize that given her small team and their heavy workload, creating ad campaigns for 4 social media platforms might be biting off more than then they can chew. Sorry, I was slow with
Mm.
that one. She decided to scale back to 3 social media networks where she's more likely to find new clients. Achievable. Increase the number of monthly users of tech firms' mobile app by 1,000 by optimizing our app store listings and creating target social media campaigns for 3 social media platforms: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Safeguard the achievable the achievability of your goal is much easier when you're the one setting it. However, that's not always the case. When goals are handed down from elsewhere, make sure to communicate and any restraints you may be working under, even if you can't shift the end goal. At least you can make your position and any potential roadblocks known upfront.
This makes a lot of sense because this is something like we've had to do for the podcast as far as like with just using the social media as an example. Like there's a lot of social media, there's a lot that you can do with it, but like we've just kind of scaled back to the ones that we can actually post on a regular basis and schedule the shit out as opposed to having to remember, oh,
Mhm.
I need to put something here, I need to put something here. Um and like we've done that. Like it's only we have tons of social media, but there's only 3 that's regularly posted on because we have the ability to actually schedule. And if it wasn't, yeah, anything that's not schedulable, oh well.
Mhm.
um, let me see. Is that? I don't know. What would be our achievable? Okay, we don't have to. This is actually a great thing that maybe we could kind of do for the podcast. This one I don't really know because I'm trying to like put in context of like how could we flip it to this.
Mhm.
Um, but that's pretty cool, and it makes a lot of sense. And I like how they were saying how don't not pedestals. So you put it up here, and it's going to be easy to fall. That like for example, like we got to post on all these different social media sites, um, but it's unrealistic to be able to do that with, you know, that makes a lot of sense. Let's see. Okay, relevant. Okay, okay. So here's where you need to think about the big picture. Why are you setting the goal that you're setting? Jane knows that the app is a huge driver of customer loyalty, and that is an uptick in their app usage and their app shit and that an uptick in their app usage could mean big things for the company's bottom line revenue goals. Now she revises her statement reflect that context. Okay, so her idea is to make it relevant is to grow the number of monthly users of said tech firm, the mobile app by 1,000 by optimizing your app store listing and creating targeted social media campaigns for 3 social media platforms. Because mobile users tend to use their product longer, growing our app usage will ultimately increase profitability. Okay, that makes sense. So like if like so for example, we've kind of done this like leveraging YouTube more to get like having the podcast on YouTube, not just on Spotify, to kind of
Mhm.
expand the listenership in different ways. Um, okay. Yeah. Okay, I see that. Make sure it's relevant. Okay. Yep.
I agree. Time bound. To properly measure success, you and your team need to be on the same page about when a goal has been reached. What's your time horizon? When will the team start creating and implementing the tasks they're identified? When will they finish? Smart goals should have time related parameters built in so everybody knows how to stay on track within designated time frame. I'm so sorry, girl. When Jane incorporated those dates, her SMART goal
Hmm.
is completed, time bound. Grow the number of monthly users of tech firms' mobile app by 1,000 within Q1 of 2022. This will be accomplished by optimizing our App Store listings and creating targeted social media campaigns, which will begin running in February 2022 on 3 social media platforms: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Okay, since mobile is our primary point of conversion for paid customers sign up, growing our app usage will ultimately increase sales. Knowing how to get goals using the SMART framework can help you succeed in setting and obtaining goals, no matter how large or small.
Hmm.
So, what I like about this article, I think, is that they give you examples
Mm-hmm.
of how to. I'm such a visual learner. So, I think if I read that without the examples, it I think it might would take me a little bit longer to piece it together because I'm such a visual learner.
I
So I
agree.
like the examples
Yeah, I
to help.
agree. Honestly, had it not been for those, like I with the first example, it's like, like it wasn't. This was unintended. I was like, well, how could we transition this to what we do also? And like, had it not been for that example, it wouldn't even have clicked in my brain to, hey, why don't we see? Um,
I
so
agree.
I love the fact that she actually put examples in it to put it. You got to put it into context, especially if you're not really familiar with the term or like have had to use it in your in anything, personal life, work life, all that stuff. um Interesting. Okay, I like this blueprint. I'm like, maybe we can kind of
Mhm.
brainstorm, like what are some of the things that we could accomplish for the podcast, and see if maybe we can do our own smart goals for Oust. Something to think about.
And I love the way
um
you said it. It's such a good blueprint. Like, oh,
yeah,
I love it.
yeah. And I think, like always with any type of goal, the hardest thing really is sticking to it. And not just on a personal level, even for businesses, like many businesses struggle with the same thing.
Mhm.
um Interesting. So if you guys have like any tips or tricks on how you were able to, what you guys thought of it all, just overall, like is there any, like we would please drop it in the comments. Like what are your smart goals, or what are your goals for the new year in 2026? Yeah, because we don't do New Year's resolutions, okay? We don't do none of that.
Not just that, but if you have something outside of SMART goals, don't, share it. Like, you might not use SMART goals, but you might use some other type of um blueprint
Hmm, absolutely.
to stay on track. That might be similar, but just, you know, might not be smart. Whatever you use
Hmm.
that helps you stay on track for whatever your goals are. What are they? We're interested to know.
Absolutely, because like not everyone, like I shared with you like earlier. Like, there's someone that I watch, and he's like a motivational speaker. Like I don't have the money to pay like a coach. We ain't got budgets for that, or a life coach or anything like that. So So the thing I do to kind of help is there's just someone that I watch that help me kind of see a way to like just keep myself motivated on things that I want to like stay motivated on. So like find yourself or even find yourself a good mentor. Find yourself a good mentor that one has the time and is willing to put in the effort in what it is that you're trying to do, whatever that is. They could also help you define or work through some of that stuff. um I was speaking to someone yesterday. She's like, yeah, she has not a mentor. I forget the word that she said, but it was something like to that effect of saying, hey, look, you have to do XYZ for your business to help scale it and one, make it survive what's happening right now. But this is what you're going to have to do. But what did she say? I forget. She said something. And I was like, it was something to the effect of, I'm calling it mentorship. Get yourself a good mentor who has done all of these things. To maybe help you figure out how to scale your business, whether if it's a podcast or whatever, to make it more profitable or even profitable, depending where you are.
Mhm.
Um, and even if it's not a business goal, even if it's on a personal goal, like you can still get yourself a mentor. It doesn't have to be business related, and if you can afford the life coach, more power to you.
Um, well, power to you.
But even some therapists will help you with goal setting and stuff like that. So like it depends on your situation. But get yourself a good mentor. It can help you define some of the things that you might want to accomplish, and find someone who's willing to put in effort. Because it's far and few between. Just saying. So if anyone's a podcaster out there, you want to be our mentors.
That part.
Drop it in the comments.
I agree.
Do you think there was anything here that was hard to stick to, just overall?
Um, no, not that I can really think of offhand. I think, for me personally, it's the sticking to it
Mhm.
part, but I think when you start coming up with ways to visually see the growth or the progression, I think that's what kind of helps you to stick with it. So
Mhm.
like, oh, okay, I see. So no, not really that I can think. I don't think any of it is unrealistic.
Yeah. And this is something I was kind of thinking about. Like sometimes timing has a lot to do with how things flow, right? So for example, like we had an idea for something that, and we're not going to tell you what it is because we're just not. But like we had an idea to do something for like the in the near future. And realistically, it's not the right time. Not yet. Um, but timing also is an important factor in how you are like developing the goals that you want to accomplish, which is comes back to that achievable thing. Like if I want to do XYZ, is it achievable in the next 3 months? Probably not. Like, would we need to get listenership at a different pace before we can accomplish that? Had we not gone through this, I probably wouldn't have considered, like, I don't think that maybe the timing isn't here for this year. Maybe it just needs to go
Okay.
into 2026. It just literally kind of hit me like, I don't know if this is the timing to do it. So we hope that you have found this somewhat useful, because, hey, new year, start fresh. And just know that we are looking to try. There's a guest that we've been trying to get on that maybe we can talk about new year and how to do some new stuff and setting goals, but we can't guarantee that they're going to say yes or even be able to come on. But make sure you are staying tuned.
Absolutely. Um, welcome to the new year, 2026. I feel like that last year flew.
Yeah.
Flu, right? It's not me, right?
No.
Like,
No.
already?
Yeah. Like we're here.
And I don't know if that's good or bad. I just don't. A part of me is like, ugh, and got that sofa, but then you're like, dang. But I feel like it flew by. Welcome to 2026. Our ousters, our day one, they have stuck through us every season, every year. We couldn't do it without you. Our new ousters, welcome to the team. We love you. Welcome to the ousters. We love each and every one of y'all. Time is something that you can't get back, and you gave us some of your time out of y'all busy day and lives. So we love you, appreciate you. Have a good day or night, wherever you're at.
And mentors. If you want to mentor us,
That part.
we're here for it.
That. Guess. Any guess?
That too.
I don't want to take any. I'll take it back.
Oh, wait. Wait a minute.
But we are definitely looking forward to having more guests.
Absolutely. Here's some more guests in 2026.
Hey.
Bam.
There goes a goal. Bam.
Jot that down. There it is. Maybe that's the goal. I don't know. But we do appreciate